McCallum from London, England, wearing the red.
Michael Watson.
Michael McCallum's age in Watson's camp. That's a risk when you
Countering right hand. He also leads with the right hand.
The chant of Watson goes up already.
He made a lot of fans when he beat Nigel Benn fought in those 11 months. So ring rust will be a factor in Michael Watson. The man now on the left. You watch for that, and we'll watch for the legs of Mike McCallum. Now he's holding up.
Watson flicking more to the body. There he goes with a combination, but doesn't score.
Body.
Was, although the boxing community knew that in terms of boxing skills,
still feeling out here in the first round. The interesting thing about the Benn fight for Michael Watson was that he basically fought a negative fight, tactical fight, but it involved just covering up and avoiding the Benn power early, waiting for him. He's got to go out and make things happen, and sometimes that's a much more difficult thing to do. That fight with Benn, Michael Watson, he must keep his composure here tonight. He has never faced anyone with the experience and the
round. We'll be back to London. Started. This fight is scheduled for 12. I thought they were scheduled for 20.
Well, and that was a pace that really favored who picks up the pace right now. He knew that the Watson corner told him that he had to come out and pick up the pace to be keeping a slow pace.
And tried the jab.
And you saw Michael Watson open his mouth wide for air. Into the kind of...
Oh, and another right, and a good combination.
And that is not going to like that. He's going to be reluctant to start using the pressure that he has to.
Up the head against Mike McCallum. Is going to get hit in the body by McCallum's score.
Mike McCallum has worked up a good sweat now. Michael Watson still is pretty dry.
Mickey Duff, the manager of Watson, said it was really a blessing. His nose back in November. He didn't think he was really in position. Extremely nervous and tentative and taking way much more punishment in the gym than he should have.
Well, you can see right now in the second round that Michael Watson up in class, that he's not ready to match in terms of skill. His only hope right now is that Michael McCallum runs out of gas, because right now McCallum's giving him a boxing lesson.
This is action in round 2. We're inside the final minute. About 45 seconds remain.
Again, McCallum dominating on the inside. And again, Watson gasping for air. The pressure is obviously weighing very Watson right now.
This round is very that Michael Watson fought out in wild combinations, wild flurries. Mike McCallum doing that. Uppercut by McCallum, missed by a good 6 inches. This fight is for the WBA middleweight championship held by... In the third round from Royal Albert Hall in London, England. I'm Dan Deerdorf along with Alex Wallow. And a very dominating round by champion Mike McCallum in the second.
Against Steve Collins in February. McCallum also got out very, very quickly. Dominated the first 5 rounds. We gave him the 5th on a 10. Sagged badly in the middle round. Right now, I think Mike Watson is trying desperately to remember what Steve Collins did this fight around.
You see Watson throwing a lot of his leads to the body, trying to emulate the body snatcher's work, Mike McCallum.
You want to see a seasoned pro, just watch McCallum's distribution of punches. And that's not going to get it done by Mike. Not even really looking.
Clearly a tentative look on the face of challenger Michael Watson.
He's coming forward, but he's coming forward without purpose and not working to set anything up, and McCallum's just picking him apart. A lot of people thought that Mike McCallum's 33-year-old legs would not allow him to back up, that if you backed him up, he was through. So far, early in the fight, he has been able to fight very effectively backing up.
Michael Watson has not landed a telling blow yet. None of his punches are what I would term the devastating. These guys, a big one-punch knockout type of fighter. Again, good work downstairs by McCallum. But this fight has a long way to go. This fight scheduled for 12.
You could say you just can't take 11 months off and expect to come out of the box and be sharp.
I think Mickey Duff's comment about Mike McCallum fighting Steve Collins back in February was a guy his age needs another fight like a moose needs a hat rack. That seems to contradict what you're saying, Alex. I have a tendency to agree with you.
Well, so with his right hand, a little inside uppercut there again.
Getting their man and just looking a bit tense as we move into the fourth round.
He looked 10 in his last fight, and he comes in here as a favorite and looks...
Well, psychologically, Alex, it is much easier being the challenger and the underdog than it is to be there. It's many times easier to get what you want than it.
It's also easier to fight a one-dimensional fighter like Nigel Benn. Right now, Michael Watson is bleeding from the nose. You have to worry about his power than fighting a multi-dimensional when you just got to hope his legs go.
A good double jab that time by Michael Watson. McCallum, get him up. By Michael Watson. This time this fight, he backs up Mike McCallum.
Exact back.
And you can almost see Watson fighting with a little more confidence, Alex.
And once again, the key is what we said at the top, Dan. Can he sustain it?
Good jab that time.
Michael Watson, and we're not saying it.
The blood only appears to be coming out of Watson's right nostril. But again, tough to tell from down here. Final minute here of the fourth round. 60 pounds. We saw it's more like a light heavy.
They say he made the weight right on
left that time from him.
He landed a right of his own. This pattern really is familiar to us, Dan, coming off the Collins fight. McCallum out early, and now a little bit more pressure from the challenger.
Coming to the end of the fourth. Watson in the red, he's the challenger.
Last round tough to score, Dan. McCallum scored, I thought, the best punch of the round. Good scoring of his own in the middle of the round.
At 33, you would say the longer this fight lasts, the less it favors him. On the other hand, Michael Watson, even though only 25, has never gone beyond 9 rounds before. So he does not have the latter round experience.
The thing is that McCallum's body take effect. I mean, he's always been a very patient fighter. In fact, in his...
Michael Watson's nose.
Another thing to watch for, Dan. Watch how McCallum doesn't waste punches. Yeah, McCallum's left arm way down. He got caught with a little right hand. He's going to have to protect a little bit better from the Watson right hand leads than that. There, the right hand counter just missed.
A wild swinging right by Watson. Oh, and a good right hand counter that time by Mike McCallum.
Watson took it well. Both men have excellent chins.
Right now it's Watson being comfortable up against the ropes. Works his way off. The ring, there is Eddie Futz, the 78.
Best fighter, Hedgeman Lewis.
You don't want to hear anything about how old you are. That might be a reassuring...
Yeah, he's got him because he makes him feel young.
Oh, and a good left hand again by McCallum. A lazy jab by Watson left him open.
Yeah, that was a solid right hand inside by McCallum.
And he came back with an uppercut. And Michael Watson's gloves are coming down. He better get them back up, and he does. End of the 5th round. Mike McCallum firmly in control. We move into the 6th round of this WBA Watson. I'm Dan Deerdorf along with Alex Wallow. And Alex, here we are in the 6th round. Why don't you bring us up on what's happening?
Last title defense. He has round 4, totally dominated the first 5 rounds. I had round 4 even. I know he's gotten off to a very fast...
Good combination. That who lives in Isling, even if he flicks a glove.
It just looks right here in the start of round 6 that Michael Watson might have gotten a little bit of a second wind. He looked...
Oh, and there's another combination. That just... So far, Alex has let his hands go.
There.
We'd like to remind our local ABC stations that at the end of this round, we're going to be taking a station break. Time by McCallum.
And that Watson's nose all over his face.
If you were a year-old world champion.
And there you see McCallum up at his feet, up at his toes a little bit.
We heard him.
Any other point in the fight.
That right hand by Watson doesn't really land. Watson's punches right now do not have a lot of snap in them.
No, he's lost whatever little edge he had at the top a little bit.
Here in the 6th round, more of the boxing has been in close. Coming to the end of the 6th, ABC Weight Championship will continue after this word from your local ABC station. We move beyond the halfway point. This fight is Michael Watson, the challenger in the red trunks. Has been the past couple of rounds.
Not effective aggression yet. Just count the number of punches that he misses.
Oh, and there's a good left counter by McCallum. Lands on the shoulder. Good right hand that time by Watson, who attempting to throw in combinations. Oh, and there's a slip. There's a slip by McCallum. His glove hit the mat. Part of the reason for that slip was that McCallum was having to fight moving backwards.
Rather than giving ground the way he wants to.
Left hand from McCallum. You saw it kind of rock Watson.
And he's still dangerous backing up. He can still counter well. It's just the best defense, but just throwing punches. He's got to be careful every time because he's going to get countered.
Blood continues to trickle from the nose of Michael Watson. Doesn't appear to be a factor. But no swelling around the eyes, and it's really not bleeding.
Mike McCallum just tried there in the exchange a minute ago. That was an awfully...
It's a very patient fight being fought by champion McCallum. Not the direction he'd like to be going, but by the look on his face, you can see that he's firmly in control.
And also, it's a faster pace. It's not fast enough to drain him yet.
Coming towards the end of the 7th. Needs to come up with something big. It's not a physical pain, but a pain born of frustration, I think. Oh, good right to the body. And
the strength of the old champion, pushing the young man back.
Good right uppercut from McCallum. Got another good right hand by Watson. Ooh, good right-left combination by the champ.
And both of them very, very borderline, especially the left. And there, the right on the hip. And a warning from the referee.
He's already warned McCallum once about getting his gloves. Ooh, a dangerous left lead that time by Michael Watson. Left himself wide open. McCallum didn't counter. Almost seems like, as Alex has said, doesn't know what to do with it.
Getting countered with something back.
Ooh, a good left jab that time. Good jab.
Watson just gasping for air. Either he's dead tired or he's really having trouble getting air through the nose.
Reckless with his punches, leaving himself open. And Mike McCallum raising it.
I mean, he generally switches to southpaw very fluidly. That time he tried to do it and just looked terribly amateurish. Again, the McCallum body punches.
And the gloves of Watson are coming down, Alex. He's leaving his head open. He's going to take a shot. It's beginning to weaken.
Again, you saw in the exchange, Watson switched to southpaw for a second. That is not going to confuse Mike McCallum. I mean, he won both his world titles against left-handers.
Get the sense that the body work done by him is slowly but surely lowering the gloves of Michael Watson.
And Watson is on the ropes. He fought well against Ben off the ropes, covered up well and came off the ropes well, but this is another story.
We're one scheduled for 12. Another 4 rounds. Looks like it's going to be tough for Watson. Get the 9th round under.
McCallum was hitting out of the Watson corner, roared out, mugged the referee, trying to get his attention to penalty 2 men touching gloves. I don't think it signals that they know this is the last round. Again,
southpaw stance. A couple of them landed, but absolutely nothing. Now watch stance. Good right lead that time scored by Watson. Mike McCallum on the left, the champion at 33 years of age. Here tonight in his 11th title bout.
And just totally in control. But Michael Watson was trying to get in, and those two jabs just totally threw him off his rhythm.
Just taking a couple of steps backwards. A very pro-Watson crowd here in London.
It's only round 9, Dan, but on our scorecards have McCallum so far ahead that Watson on our scorecards needs a knockout to win, and he is not that kind of a puncher. From Mike McCallum, totally wrong. And of course, McCallum has never been stopped.
And Watson's other problem will be, Alex, that when he finally gets to that stage where he realizes that, expose himself. Oh, a very amateurish combination by Watson.
You talk about taking the crowd out of the fight in a lot of other sports. Mike McCallum has taken this Albert Hall crowd right out of this fight.
The action is undaunted. Oh, a good left hand that time. A good left by McCallum. You saw it rock Watson. It's the end of the 9th round. Story for Michael White. 8 seconds into the 9th round. That was with a team. While Mike McCallum, the champion, needs lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle.
He needs a 2x4. And the strength to swing it. Yeah, sharp one, too.
That good right hand got it. The chin didn't even rock his head back. Watson is landing a punch every now and then, but it just does not seem to have a lot of snap.
And can't come in with something behind it. Cannot maintain the pace. Cannot part just because McCallum is so good at counterpunch. You know, Mickey Duff over in Michael Watson's corner because ABC Sports covered his fighter Lloyd Hunnigan's really sad showing when he got knocked out by Mark Breland. Brightest prospect, Michael Watson, at this stage at least, just blown out of contention by Mike McCallum.
Reminder that this performance by McCallum, in spite of the fact that Michael Watson was made the betting favorite by the crowd here in England, it's just this is a huge step up in class for Watson. And it's showing. Mike McCallum throwing about 4 or 5 uppercuts in a row.
And Watson just gasping for breath. Fighting as hard as he can. There's no dog in him. He's given everything he got. He has, but he's just in with too much. It's just not enough against a guy who is not yet, no matter what happens in the...
And there goes Watson.
At the end of his career. There's still some life in the old boy yet.
Watson putting himself back onto the ropes and really not even fighting his way off the ropes, just trying to bull his way out.
That McCallum has stepped up the pace a little bit more than I thought he would. He has not let Watson rest when he wanted to. He has put it to the kid as much as the kid has put it to him.
They go the distance. There's rules over here in England are that once a mouthpiece comes out, you must fight the balance of the round without it. And again, look at the scoring combinations and the attack by champion Mike McCallum.
He's got to know he's way ahead. He's got to know that wisdom might be on the side of not taking any chances, but Mike McCallum is determined to prove all the people who made him the underdog in this fight, that all the people that said he was finished, he wants to put an exclamation point on this fight.
Well, he's putting an exclamation point on the head of Michael Watson. Michael Watson, who hasn't thrown a punch in 30 seconds, up against the ropes, and this referee Ramirez taking a close look.
Yeah, a British referee might have stopped this fight already.
Ramirez from Puerto Rico allowing Mike McCallum to go ahead and hit Michael Watson, putting up no defense at all. And the crowd imploring Watson to fight.
And the crowd saluting the bravery of their young contender, chanting Watson. They know he has no chance, but they're proud to see
Michael Watson as he does come out and throw some punches. There's a right, another right that lands, and another right. Watson, though, retreats to the ropes and covers. We're in the 11th round. Watson attempts to reverse the roles, and Michael Watson doesn't have a lot left.
And for the first time, the people are shouting, "Stop the fight."
And there it goes. Michael Watson in a rebound off the ropes goes right.
And he's not getting up.
Michael Watson was,
I believe it's as much
up off the ropes.
Watson trying to cover. Uppercut inside by McCallum. 1, 2, 3 punches drive Watson back in the ropes, and the right hand just finished it.
Watson
One more angle.
looking for a place to go, Alex.
Counter right hand. And the finishing right again.
You could see Watson all Alex.